I have had an Xbox since the 360. Console wars, baby! Woo! As much as people hate it, exclusives make consoles worth buying. What are they going to do? Is there even going to be another Xbox? Are they going third party? As much as the PlayStation fanboys want it to be that way, I have the shittiest internet of all time. Spot on. Perfecto. Maybe someone else will step up and fill in those shoes like Atari or At Games or the Amico. What's up, people? Dwayne from D-Pad Disquisition. And if you guys haven't seen by now, Xbox recently had an announcement leak about Indiana Jones. Now, the leaked announcement stated that Indiana Jones could possibly launch on the PS5 day one next to Xbox, PC, and whatever else, even though it was supposed to be an Xbox exclusive. And that made people start asking, what is the future of the Xbox brand? The future of Xbox in general? What are they going to do? Is there even going to be another Xbox? Are they going third party? People started getting on Twitter asking Phil Spencer, Microsoft, the Xbox brand, whoever they could ask, what is the future of Xbox? And Phil Spencer came through and he answered. He said, I'm not going to quote it word for you, but he pretty much said that there's going to be an announcement next week to tell everybody about the future of Xbox and what they're going to be doing in the coming years. I have had an Xbox since the 360. I didn't have an original Xbox. I had some friends that did, but personally, I didn't get into it until the 360 era. But the 360 era was a huge chunk of my life. It lasted for so long, and it was just a big part. I grew up with a lot of games from the 360, and I had a really, really good time with the 360. So the fact that there's even a possibility that Xbox could be no more and they could just be going third party with everything really disappoints me and hits the heart. It hits home. Now, when I think about this, there are a few reasons why Xbox would be even thinking about going this route. One is that the sales compared to the PS5 are awful. The PS5 has been whooping it up and down the court nonstop since it came out. It is what it is. They're not going to win this one. Tough luck, you know? The second thing is Game Pass, I feel, really has hurt the sales of Xbox titles, which is kind of contradictory in my head because Game Pass is fantastic. I pay $16.99 a month. I get all the Xbox titles. A lot of the titles are junker titles, in my opinion. But now that we're later into Game Pass's life, there are some grade A, top tier titles that release on there. And not only release on there, but there are grade A top tier titles that release on there day one with everything else. It's to the point now where the Xbox exclusives come out day one. There's some banger titles that are older that they're dropping on there nonstop. So it really hurts me to say that Game Pass might be one of the problems Xbox has with its sales and stuff right now. But, I mean, honestly, for how cheap Game Pass is, I don't know how they could be making near as much money as they would by selling titles in the store, on the Microsoft store or anything. I'm sure they're getting something out of it, or else they wouldn't have created it in the first place. There's got to be some kind of roundabout idea. But I'm sure they're not making the same amount of money as they would selling it $60 at the store like everybody else does. Now, personally, if Xbox went third party, I could care less. I'm not a fanboy of either console. I've always had an Xbox. PlayStations are fine. I had a PS4 for a short amount of time. I had a PS2. I had a PS3 for a short amount of time. But people are saying if this game releases on PS5, day one with Xbox, PC, there's really no point in owning an Xbox if you can play every Xbox title somewhere else. As much as people hate it, exclusives make consoles worth buying. It's as simple as that. If you don't have a game that you can only get on your console and you can get it anywhere else, why would they have to buy your console? Because PS5 is dropping exclusive games, and not just exclusive games, top tier grade A exclusive games. God of War, Spider-Man. If Xbox went third party, it's not going to be a good thing. As much as the PlayStation fanboys want it to be that way, competition is what makes people strive to do better and makes people strive to put better games, better setups, better consoles, better controllers. Competition keeps people wanting and striving to do better. So if there's only one console to choose from, let's just say a streaming box comes out and every console maker puts their games on there, they're done making hardware because no one's going to need to buy it because you can play it everywhere else. Xbox, the way they're going, is probably going to be the first gaming company to quit putting hardware out on the shelves. They got Game Pass, they're on PC, they're talking about putting stuff on PS5, exclusive titles on PS5, Starfield, the Indiana Jones games. I could see all those coming to PS5, especially since the downloads and stuff that they've got for like Starfield and games like that didn't do super great, and they would sell a whole lot more if they were on every other console alongside Xbox. They've already been launching games on PC day one alongside the Xbox for a long while now, which is part of what makes Game Pass such a good deal for us. Probably not for them. I would say the money they make off Game Pass is way less than what they would get selling it in a store exclusively or on their online store exclusively. And I would say that Game Pass, as good as it is for me and you, because it is phenomenal. It truly is. It wasn't at first, but now, perfecto. Spot on. But as good as it is, I'm sure it's hurting them sales-wise. I can't see how they could be making a bunch of money from $16.99 a month. I just don't. And maybe they're preparing themselves for an always online, you stream it to play it future, right? Where you don't have to have a console. You don't have to have any of this shit. You can just stream it to whatever device you have, subscribe to Xbox, subscribe to PlayStation, stream the games, good to go. But what they don't realize is the world, the gaming industry, is not prepared for that yet. I have the shittiest internet of all time. If I try to stream a game from the cloud to play it, it plays like shit. Not to mention, it tells you, well, there's so many people playing this game right now, you're going to have to wait a little bit. But that's nothing, because my internet is so bad that I couldn't stream it if I wanted to. And if you don't believe me, I have a video called The Worst Internet of All Time, or it's titled something like that. It's on my channel. Check it out. My internet might be the worst there ever has been. But the world is not ready for that. I know if I don't have decent enough internet to do any of that shit, there's plenty of people out there that don't have decent enough internet to do any of that shit. And like I said, Xbox is already getting whooped by the PS5 how it is. If they start releasing their exclusives day one on PS5, or let's just say it's not even day one, just in general on PS5, along with their own console, the sales numbers for your consoles are going to plummet. Plummet to the ground. Now, maybe they've already ran numbers. Maybe they've already decided that, hey, our console numbers are garbage anyways. how much worse could it get? Or maybe they decided this Indiana Jones game just isn't as good as what we thought. It's probably not going to sell a bunch on our console. Maybe we should put just this game everywhere we can, just to get some money back out of it. In reality, with how bad the PS5 has been whooping the Xbox, maybe it is better and a better idea and a better investment to put your games on all the consoles you can get them on, especially when yours is selling the worst, because it's not even selling as good as the Switch right now, hardware-wise. Let's face it, Xbox has been going downhill since they announced the Xbox One. Since then, they've had a few upward slopes where they've been gradually working their way up by buying all these companies to make exclusive games for them. Maybe they thought they could turn it around, but the hardware sales just aren't there enough to make them see that, hey, we need to keep doing this. If PS5 is the only console out there, they can do whatever they want, and we can't argue it, we can't protest it, we can't go to the other guy and say, we're with you now, because there won't be another guy. So this is a bad thing. If this happens, and this is real, and this goes through, it is not going to be good for the industry. Maybe there will be someone somewhere that'll step up and try making another console. Maybe someone else will step up and fill in those shoes, like Atari or At Games or the Amico. But competition is good. And without competition, we are going to start getting mediocre shit and having to put up with a bunch of shit that we're not going to want to put up with. 2 companies is not enough competition to keep them in check. Because without somebody else there to one-up you and make you do better, they won't have a reason to do better. So from the bottom of my heart, I hope Xbox doesn't make a dumb decision like this, and I hope they try to find a way to push through it to keep making hardware in the future. And I hope this isn't going to happen, and I hope you keep fighting the good fight. Console Wars, baby! Woo! So as always, you guys take it easy, and I will catch you on the other side. Peace out.